Hi YouTube, welcome back to the KDRC YouTube channel. Part 3 of the RC4WD D110 build up. This is obviously, some of you have seen the previous videos. If not, go back and have a quick look. Subscribe and like and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm going to build this one from a standard kit all the way through to a Class 1 comp rig. I'm going to be doing that on the YouTube channel and also in Racer magazine here in the UK, and hopefully in Scalar magazine in the US. Two really good magazines there for you. So yeah, at the minute I've got it as far as here. From the last video I've added the rear bumper, front bumper. I've popped in an RC4WD 45 turn crawler motor. Gonna give one of those a go. I know they're really good, so why not? Haven't decided on the rest of the running gear yet, but we'll get there and have a look at that later on. So we're going to put this to one side today because I'm going to concentrate mainly on the axles. So I've got a standard axle, rear axle here. Completely standard. I've put the trusses on here and a couple of links, but it's got the standard rear case on it and the standard gearing inside there. It's greased up at the minute, so it sounds quite nice and smooth. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the helical gear set, because obviously this is going to go up to be a Class 1 comp rig. So I can hide away the upgrade in here. Just saves me having to build it twice, really. So helical gear set. Right, why do we do that? Well, it runs smoother and it's a stronger gear set. Here we go. You can see these two. We've got the standard one here on the right, and we've got the helical one here on the left. Now you can see the difference in the actual gears and the meshing. Here you can see the curvature, and these ones are straight. Now again, you've got the curvature here, and they just mesh up like that. They're a much stronger type of gear mesh. So that's that one there. I've already started doing the front one just to see how it all goes together and just break it down so I can show you then really how it all goes together. So obviously I've got the two here. This is the top one, is the rear but with the cover on and the cover off. Don't know if any of you has taken yours apart yet. You don't really need to unless you need to cover it up. So on these, whenever I'm doing any work on the on an axle or anything like that, I always try and get a packet of these shims from RC4WD for the Yota axle. These ones are, and what we're looking for is any float, any movement at all in here. So if that moves backwards and forwards like this, which this one doesn't at all, then you want to be putting a little shim. It goes on there, and when that sits inside there, I'm going to be checking for a little bit of movement. Now this one might have a little bit. It's got a tiny little bit there, look. But that's less than 0.3 of a mil shim, so we can't do anything with that one at the minute. Oh, that won't affect the helical gear meshing at all. So the other upgrade I'm going to do is, with the standard pumpkin cover, you have to unbolt all the back here. Then inside there, there's these 4 screws. They have to come off from the inside, so you have to then drop everything off, which means really taking the whole axle off your rig just to get to this bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade this with these ARB Diff covers from RC4WD. They're a milled piece of aluminium. Really nice looking bit of kit as well. Adds a nice little bit of something to the truck. So we're going to pop that on there now. Hey, bye-bye drive shaft. Not only does that look nice, it serves a purpose as well. We've got 6 screws here which hold this on. They come off, you've got instant access there to your diff. So we shall rebuild this axle. So this end's already done here. So I'm going to pop this drive shaft back in. So on here got the upgraded XVDs. Got a nice lot turning compared to the standard dog bone, wishbone assembly. We're going to pop these in place. And obviously normally you get a drive shaft to here with a cup on the end of it. Let's see if I can dig one of those out for you. Don't know if I've got them still sat in here or not. No, unfortunately I haven't. I moved them out the other day, I think. Yeah, they moved them out. So obviously that'll sit in there. And just look at the amount of lock you get on these from here to here. It's going to help a lot in competitions, getting in between those gates, tight turns. Of course, this is going to be a D110 long wheelbase, so any increase in the turning angle is going to help me considerably with the amount of length of the truck. So, get our knuckle. Bearings are already in. They're nice and tight in there. Not forgetting these little fellas, the top hats. There, they fit from the inside. Now these like to fall out, and they, yeah. So I've got a top tip for you here, and it really is a top tip. Get a little bit of grease. Now I'm using this here, put some in a tray for you guys to see. It's like a marine grease, but you only want a tiny little bit on that, and that goes from the inside. And when you're trying to fit these in without doing this little thing here, these fall out. It does get annoying. Tell you what, it can drive you crazy doing that job. So you soon learn to do this little trick. Spot of grease. You can use lithium grease or any of the RC4 drive ones that you want. They do a good set. They're bringing out another set, I believe, like a build-up kit with some thread lock and greases and all sorts. So there you go. Look, if you hold it on the side when you're putting these on, they can't fall out. So there we are, ready to bolt back up. Get the screw again. If you've been watching my other videos, you know what I'm going to say. Thread lock, thread lock, thread lock. Don't want your rig falling apart. All this time spent building it, making it work as a competition rig, for one little bit of thread lock to stop the whole thing working. So take your time, enjoy the build, thread lock where you need to. Don't rush anything. If you think it needs something doing, you're not sure about what you're doing with your build, feel free to give me a shout. There we go, look at that, nice and smooth. That's with no grease in there yet at all. That's what we're liking, really smooth gearing. The smoother the better, no clunking, clanking or anything like that. So get a little flathead screwdriver. So for that. So we're going to get some grease and just start putting it on the gear faces here. I'm going to get this nicely packed in. This truck is going to go to the G6 competition here in the UK. So Mr. Brian Parker, I'll be coming for you. We'll get this built up now, get it tested. I've lucky enough, just up the road from me, about 9 miles, we've got a scalar park that I've been building. It's on the site of SLEAFORD radio controlled car club, the off-road section. If you want to go on Facebook and have a find out and have a look for us, if you just look for SLEAFORD RC car club hyphen scalar park, or go on there and find me, Kevin Dent, I'll point you in the right direction. I'll put a link up on the bottom of this video as well. It's turning out to be a really good scalar park. Right, there we go, that's nicely, you can see there, look, we're getting a goodly amount of coverage on the gears faces. There we go, spread some of that back in. There we go. And guys and girls, do not get this on any white t-shirts or anything like this marine grease, because it will not come off. There we go. Right, always try and keep a little bit of tissue around or something just to wipe your hands. So get some of that. There we go. Clean off this here, any excess around here. Try and make it nice and neat so when we close it up, we're not going to get any ingress of grease or dirt, because it's dirt into the grease. So right, time to bolt it back up together. Now there's some separate screws in a little bag here. So yeah, I've said this before, feel free to drop me a message on the bottom of this video about any of the builds you're doing. It'd be nice to see what you've got. Give me a shout on Facebook, and we'll have a look and see what you guys are up to. So this is going to be a Class 1 comp rig. Don't really think we've talked a great deal about the Class 1 rules, but once I've got this built, we'll show you about the tyres and the scaler points and everything like that. I think a lot of you that are interested in watching this have probably already had a read through the Sorka rules for the Class 1 builds and things like that. So some of you haven't. That'd be good for you to watch. So this is unfortunately the boring part of watching the videos, is watching somebody screw something together. But it's the best way to learn, is to get in there and get it done. I always try and do them opposite here, just for the simple fact, if you did all one side at once, you can just pinch it up on one side. So if you do a little bit at a time, opposite there, don't bolt them down really tight straight off, just a bit of thread lock, go opposite again, just do it so it's just tight, and then go back round once we've just got them all in place and tighten them up. They don't need to be squeaky tight, just do them so they're nice and tight. They've got thread lock on there, don't need to be getting a torque wrench on that. So here we are. One more to go on this one. I know this is now going to be a bit of an old kit for some people out there, the D110. Some of you looking at buying one. I can't recommend RC4Wd drive enough. They're a fantastic kit to build. Instruction manuals second to none. Their customer care is really good. Got a little one that's just in there to fit. There's a shorter one there somewhere, maybe. I'll give that a whirl, see if that'll go in there. Right. But yeah, it's this isn't just about building the D110. This is all about getting a truck ready for a scale competition. Really, it's that's what the whole article in the magazine's about. It's really just getting everything ready for a Class 1 competition, showing that you can take other vehicles into these G6 competitions, because it's all about getting out there and enjoying it and having fun. I'm sure Mr. Parker out there will agree with me on that one. So give that a bit of a clean. Probably the last time it's ever going to be clean. There we go, look. One axle upgraded with helical gear set. So you can hear how smooth that is. Look at the turning when I get on that. I wish I had a standard axle to show you the difference, but look at that, that's full lock there and there, and we've still got full motion on it. So yeah, going through a gate, that'll give you a lot of turning circle. So that's that one done. I'm going to probably leave you guys to it now, and I'll get cracked on with this one, and I'll come back to you with fitting the axles back to the truck later on. Probably another little video. Okay guys, you have fun. Remember, enjoy RC and get scale.